Hello and welcome to True Tempo. It's Wednesday today. It's not Tuesday because it's a bit different. It's a special edition. I'm battling against Crucible of Words, aka Cyrus Bales, and that is awesome. All by itself. So this is coming out on Wednesday with their midweek metagame video, and so you'll be able to see both sides of what we're doing, my side here and their side on their channel. And what we wanted to do was to pit three top performing decks from last week, from the showcase and just the events of last week, against a tempo deck of my choice. So Cyrus will be playing three decks that I don't know exactly which decks, just three different kinds of top performing decks. That's what I know, and I basically just built my tempo deck for the metagame that I saw last week. So let me try and go into detail. I've been playing Izzet for a long time, and last week, in my video last week, I played Tamiyo Cutter. Izzet Tamiyo, four Tamiyos and three cutters, and that was kind of just kind of a safe bet in an open field. But now, as I saw the metagame, there's a few things that made me want to be in Dimir, even though it's really not my favorite place to be when I'm playing tempo. And so one thing is I'm seeing a lot of different combo decks, and combo decks with very often a Duke in the sideboard, a Duke that is often with Bergoyf, but also sometimes I've been seeing some fast reanimator decks with Chain of Smog combo and Show and Tell in the sideboard. There's a lot of Dukes going on. Doomsday with Bergoyfs, Blue Post with Bergoyfs, Show and Tell with Bergoyfs. Um, and so when I'm playing Izzet against that, it's really tough how to sideboard. It's really tough how to beat their plan B because Bergoyf in particular is so good against Izzet, and that alone makes me want to go into Dimir, or at least consider it heavily, because with Thoughtseize and this little tech of mine, Drown in the Lock, you have a lot of game versus kind of any payoff spell. Um, Drown in the Lock is a terminate on Bergoyf, and a counterspell on whatever dangerous 3-drop combo piece they're playing. So I want to try. I haven't played it yet, but I feel like it's worth it to at least try. And I had to limit myself. I wanted to play more than two, but Reason took over, so I stopped at two copies. So another thing I saw in the results was a lot of Izzet tempo decks. The showcase was won by Izzet and without Cutter, but a lot of other Cutter lists placed well. So I've been on the wrong side of that matchup for the last 2 months. Playing Izzet against Dimir is tough. So this time, when I have two good reasons to play Dimir, I'm convinced. I want to be battling Dimir against Izzet, and I want to be playing Thoughtseize and Drown in the Lock against all kinds of combo. The two spell bombs in the main, like they're here to make Nethergoyfs good, but they're also great against tempo, and there's still graveyard decks lurking around. Plenty of oops and some fast reanimators, so it's worth a slot or two for sure, I think. I'm playing a split of Delver and Tamiyo, so that's kind of I have 6 aggressive 1-drops, which ideally I want to play an aggressive 1-drop against Ancient Doom decks, but against Bowmaster decks I want to be able to board Delvers out. So if I'm on 4 Delver, that's tough. That's a lot of cards to board out. If I'm on 4 Tamiyo, then I'm not very aggressive against the Ancient Tomb decks. So that's a split I like. But it can go in both ways, like 3-1 to both sides, or 4 copies and 0 copies, depending on the metagame. Bowmasters is just a sweet card. There's always blue in the metagame, and with Izzet Delver in particular, this is just a bomb. Picking off a Delver or a Chandler and posing two bodies is always extremely good. I built this Dimir tempo deck more in a more lean way than what we're used to seeing. This is how I like to build decks, but it's also inspired by my friend H.J. Gardick, who did top 8 in the past weekend with a similar Dimir Delver deck. I think he played 4 Delvers, and he played 3 Bowmasters, 3 Murktides, something like that. But other than that, very similar, and I think that's awesome. No reason to play Kaito. I think he played Kaitos in the board, but yeah, I really don't see the need. If beans become bigger, then maybe. But I think we can battle against beans with this setup. Just playing Bowmasters and Thoughtseize it's enough for me in an open metagame. And I have like a weak spot is Chalice of the Void. I only have 2 Brazens, but last week we saw almost no Chalice of the Void, almost no Red Stompy, so it's kind of a risk I'm willing to take. But I could cut, like if I was playing a paper event, I would cut a surgical for explosives, no questions asked. But for the time being online, I think this is okay. Thoughtseize is also kind of removal for Chalice some part of the time. And sideboard wise, I'm respecting Cutter with the Hydroblast and Sneak Attack. I'm with the Edict, respecting like Khan, Barrowgoyf out of those decks that can do that. Merit Large a bit out of lands. I'm playing the 4th Thoughtseize because I want it against all kinds of combo decks, and even in the mirror, like the non-red mirror, it's fine. And yeah, Drown in the Luck is my my spicy 2-off for today, and for this metagame it might change, but I have a feeling that it's a slot that I want to stick to, because I think the Barrowgoyf Duke is a central part of the metagame, and I don't think that's going to change. So only question is how many copies I can squeeze in. And I think that's all I have to say. So let's get going and play some Magic against Crucible of Words. All right, here we are for the first game, first match against Crucible of Words. And I don't know what he's on, as I mentioned. I don't know the order. I have an idea of the decks, but not exactly. I just know it will be some of the best performing decks from the weekend. But of course, that can be a lot of different things. So that's cool. I'm keeping this. Who won the die roll? He did. Hoping that Brainstorm can save the day, because I do have a couple of lands too many. Okay, Once Upon a Time. Is that Eldrazi? No, I don't think so. Which decks played Once Upon Urza's Saga? Oh, it's the Pax deck. Oh lord. And here's a loam in the bin. It's gonna be tough. They have a Saga in hand. They have that loam. So a question is, a question that I pose is, can I win just wasting that source? I feel like I have to get lucky here. They're gonna play a Saga. I'm gonna try and get lucky. Slow them down, but once they get going, it's basically over. maybe I can find a spell bomb. I want to get my basics going. Okay, that's decent. I want to get my basics going, but I do also probably want to brainstorm next turn. So just gonna fetch out an underground sea for the time being. And accept. Let's see what they're working with. Okay. A good hand indeed. Next turn, well, they can waste me. They can dredge loam and play it. Definitely in trouble. I feel like, I'm gonna take the Bowmasters. But both of those cards are an issue. Like they both kill Bowmasters, and yeah, but Loam is doing kind of the same thing as with the Bloom command with regards to getting back lands. Let's see. Okay, it's gone. This one. They find a forest. Here's a saga. Need to find a Murktide. And they loam for 2 lands. Gonna accept that. Okay, that is a kind of pressure. I'm gonna brainstorm. I'd like a spell bomb. Okay, well, I'm gonna just try and play some Goyfs. Get a swamp here. Don't need that. I need both these lands to secure my mana. Maybe this Bowmasters is actually just too weak. Now my goal is to kind of control their Sagatones a bit with the bounce. Maybe force a loam if they use their mana on that this turn. If not, the next turn. Try to get a kind of a tempo window. The swamp. Okay, they're gonna make a token. Okay, Daze. It might do something. I can't boost my Goyf. And I'll just use my Underground Sea to play my Nethergoyf. Having basics is nice in this matchup. So that their loam is kind of, it's like waste loaming is not getting back loam infinitely, or getting back wasteland with loam is not in itself very interesting when I have my lands. Okay. So they'll have some 3/3s. That's a nice size for me. Saga is gone a while ago. Wonder what they have. If they have something sweet, like a maybe they can clear my yard with the lantern. Just a pithing needle. Okay. That's not very interesting. Kaito. Okay. They don't know that I'm not playing Kaito. But good for me. Good for me. End of turn. I'm gonna just bounce a token. So they can't. I could try and let them double block. Maybe I should do that. Will they double block? Nah, I want to play it next turn. I want to use my mana so I can play it as an attacker. I think that's better. Alright, then I can play my Tamiyo. Does Tamiyo do anything? Well, I can also have like a surprise. They're gonna make one token. It'll be a 3/3. Do I need to play my lands? I think I might just as well. It's tough. I don't think it really matters. Is there a timing? Yeah, because then they can Wither Bloom sorcery speed. If like they can waste and Wither Bloom because I have to play at sorcery speed. So it's better playing the land. Well, what I was trying to say was that I can play my Tamiyo and force it to make my Nethergoyfs 4/5s, which may or may not make a difference. Since it can block, it probably won't. Let's play this one out. See how they block. Okay, so now Tamiyo is interesting as a plus. Feel like I'm gonna play it now instead. Yeah. Then if I have to, well, there's actually a point in. I think I'm gonna brainstorm now so I can find like Nihil Spellbomb. All right, push is good. Put Ponder on top. Yeah. Now I have the push for the double block. I have a counter spell for something that they might have. Yep. Do they make a double block? Okay. And this is looking pretty good, I must say. They're at 4. So this hatchery is now actually dangerous. Using it. Okay. They want blockers. Fair enough. They have maybe a smallpox. They have plenty of cards. They have mana. They can make one chump blocker. Maybe like if they get a smallpox through. Okay, here's a Saga token. And what's the next best thing? Mox Diamond, yeah, it's good. And now waste here. Get 2 friends. They, yeah, it's a good one. Can't let that happen. They can waste here, and I can get back a push. So I think they are in big trouble. Let's ponder. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize, does it do something? Well, let's try it. They have something? No, I'll just take a grist. Don't think I'm missing anything. Yep. All right. Loam Pox. Loam Pox. And we got there with the basics and the Goyfs. Pretty sweet. So in their sideboard, I'm not enough familiar. I believe when I checked it out that I thought that they had very few cards for tempo, which makes sense because they're well set up. I think they might have some Barragoyfs, which is decent. And so basically, this can be nice on some of their like sagas, maybe even the hatchery or the loam, of course. Force of negation is sweet. Consign is playable. And Spellbomb is cool. I'm on the draw. I think 4 Dazes is definitely too much. That Hogak. How do I beat the Hogak? With Brazen Borrower? Graveyard Hate? Edict's gonna be pretty bad. Bowmasters is only for their Bowmasters, so it's quite bad as well. Don't hate Thoughtseize. Delvers is sketchy. Maybe I'm just cutting those against their Bowmasters on the draw. So how am I playing to beat them down with Nethergoyfs, Murktide, and maybe I should play Barragoyf. It's just I think they have plenty of removal for it, so yeah, it's not so interesting. I'll try it like this. Those surgicals are maybe suspect, but feel like they could come in clutch against their good lands and loam, Hogak. Yeah. That's scary, but I think I'll keep. I just need one more land, and these Force of Negations are good. Tamiyo's decent. Okay. I'm just gonna play as if they don't have a Wasteland, I think. Just accept that that happens. Like mulliganing in a grindy matchup like this is tough, especially because these kind of cards I think I really want. Okay, they just make it bigger. For their good 2-drops. Alright, they already played a land, so we accept that. Happily, since I have another one. Okay, now they know that I don't have any more lands. I'm sure they would have wasted me if they had it. This one I'm gonna protect a bit harder. Mark's Diamond, sure. 4 mana, hatchery's getting dangerous, to say the least. Grist. Okay. Well, yeah, it's pretty easy. The choice, just keeping the Daze, is kind of a no-brainer. 2 cards left. Okay, that's nice. Let's ponder. Alright. Don't really need the Bowmasters, but the Spellbomb might be good. And I'm just passing the turn. Maybe Surveilling end of turn. Depends if the Spellbomb is good. This hatchery is gonna be my demise, I feel like. Maybe Consigns is okay to board in. Okay, Loam on the Poseidon, that's fine. Then I'll just draw my Spellbomb. Or I could just use my Surgical, get a fresh look. I think I'll do that. I'd like to find a threat. Big old threat. Also like to find Wasteland. Okay, Spellbound. Well, it's not what I want. It's not what I want. Exact 2 cards that were on top from before. Interesting. Let's see what they're working with before I attack. Beside you with the Bloom command. You only have, okay, 3. And I'm just gonna screenshot the deck. Whoops. Okay, with a Bloom command, beside you. And hold up, that means they can destroy their land and opponent controls. Okay. So they can't destroy their own hatchery. I was just wondering. This Bowmasters is pretty uninteresting. I think I'm just gonna crack a clue so I can find a Wasteland. Oh yeah, sweet. And I'm gonna counter that with a Bloom. They have Bergoyf's Endurance in the deck, 2 Hogaks, Smallpox to get their hatchery unlocked. And of course they can draw Wasteland to unlock it. It's definitely a time bomb. Yeah. All right. I was really fortunate or lucky to draw that that Wasteland. Think how many Bowmasters do they play? I'm not. Yeah, 4. Yeah, I'm gonna wait to play my Bowmasters. It's such a poor clock, so I think I prefer just using mine to shoot theirs when they once they draw it. They put a card on top. Is it a Bowmaster that they're not playing? Murktide, awesome. Let's attack. Murktide is exactly what the doctor ordered. I have Smallpox protection. These hatchery tokens are close to like trading with Murktide, but my pushes might have a word to say about that. Here's the Bowmasters. Okay. That is fine. I have them on 2-turn clock. And the hatchery is kind of, it's like an infinite blocker, you can say. Like if they unload it now. Okay, infinite pushes. Well, let's attack. Just with the Murktide now. No reason to it. Like I'm not gonna crack more than this. I don't think so. Do I? They might have what? I don't know. I'm gonna push here and ponder. They might have another one, but it's okay. That's not like the worst ever. And okay, I wish I had a blue card. I will draw. Yeah, just draw like this. So let's see if they have what they need. Like a Grist would be awesome. Could have played around Grist, by the way. Okay, they didn't find the card they needed. Okay, sweet. I feel like they have just this. Okay. Well, I feel like I got away from that a bit with a better outcome than in most. Like if you played 100 games, I don't think I win more than 50 on average. But awesome. Let's play another match. And we are ready. I won the die roll. That's awesome. And a nice little aggressive, well, like these Nethergoyfs are small, but let's have faith. 1-drop Daze, Wasteland might be good, right? Against the Bolt, it's not awesome. Against the Wasteland, this is not awesome. But in the dark, it looks fine. Volcanic, okay. Well, I think I'm just gonna Daze that. It's a good question. I think they would have bolted. I don't think they have a bolt. Like my Nethergoyfs are not amazing. I can also say okay and then waste Nethergoyf. I'm gonna try and accept it. Just waste. Okay, that is awesome. Indeed. And still, if they have a Wasteland here, they might run away with the game just like that. If they don't, my Spellbomb, even if I don't draw a card, will be pretty good at controlling their... Okay, Tamiyo, I get to Daze, that's awesome. Just using my, my 1 land to the max. They Daze as well. Sure. Alright, let's see if this Spellbomb resolves. And they can't really block, but they're welcome to try. Because I can grow my Nethergoyfs to 3-4. They do block. No. Question is if I should just do this now. So then they are out of bolt range. I don't get the card. Next turn I can get the card. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I want to draw that extra card and get more out of the bin here. Like I lose out on 2 damage, but I think it's okay. And still no Wasteland, so I am thankful. And all that dazing means that they're not really, like even if they get clue tokens, it's going to be so slow for them to crack them. I don't think that the game is going to be about that. Ponder is fine. Don't think I'm dazing. I could, but I feel like this Daze might do more work later on. There's a world where I draw a land, like draw a Wasteland here or something. Draw a 1-drop and then a land where dazing is not so good. And like they get delirium, but it's okay. It is okay. I'll take a couple of damage and then in my turn I'll draw a card and remove delirium. I'm totally fine with that. Okay, well, I'm prioritizing Spellbomb, I think, to draw a card, remove Delirium, but I'd love to find a land. Love to find a land. Yeah, before they, I think they probably found or like, if they saw a Wasteland, there's a good chance that I can also Thoughtseize, so I get even bigger Nethergoyfs. Awesome. If they had found it, if they saw a Wasteland, there's a chance that they kept it, but I guess not. Which is, now that I think of it, the good choice, because they're definitely on the defense. So they'll be able to brainstorm no matter what with Tamiyo. Um, hmm. And I think I want to get them from double bolting. Just let them have brainstorms. I think that they can't beat the Nethergoyfs without double bolts. See what they have here. And I usually play Izzet or Grixis, and when I play against Dimir, these are some of the interactions that really make me dream for another matchup, because Nethergoyf being too big for Bolt, Spellbomb taking away Delirium, these things are just tough to beat. Okay, maybe they can build Delirium here and like block Bolt, something like that. Then I have Daze. What am I dazing with my Daze? If they play a Delver, mostly afraid of what? Murktide? I'll be attacking for 3, so I think I'm dazing so I can remove blockers, and then if they fetch, it's lethal. I'm gonna try like that. Like they play Delver, I daze it, and then I bounce the Chandler. See if they have a Daze. They do. That's fine. I have to jump. And I'm kind of only afraid of their Murktide here. One jump. Okay. And I'm not playing this Murktide right. I feel like that's just a way to lose. If they have another Daze, I'm gonna keep my Nethergoyfs big. They really need, I don't know, they need Force of Will and Double Bolt. Double Bolt. They have Double Bolt now. Okay. Theoretically had double bolt. So they need... Yeah, I'm just gonna play around Daze, I think. It's a bit maybe too cautious. Yeah, one, and they double bolt, and then I just bounce and attack. Sweet. Alright, Izzet Delver. I didn't see Cutter. It could be there, it might not. Doesn't matter because I'm on Hydroblasts. I am also on Baraglyphs, which is awesome. And I don't like Force. On the draw, I might consider it. Let's see. I can cut Thoughtseize. I think I'm just doing like this 4 days. Is that right? Is that right? Maybe a Thoughtseize is okay. I think so, because Thoughtseize is pretty nice towards sculpting a Baraglyph or even a Bowmaster setup. Daze is not always gonna work in that sense. It's mostly to keep up, like turn 2, turn 3. But later on, if you can like Thoughtseize and then land a Baraglyph, they don't have so many answers. So okay, they have like Heat, a couple of copies, maybe that Unable to Scream that Jujubin and Frowning Table played last week. I'm keeping. Yeah, I'm keeping. Okay, I didn't click correctly. Fine. Let's see. Gonna check their top. I'm gonna play my Delver first. Off island. Yeah, no changes. It's kind of the weak link. Dies to everything. And so I want it to be a lightning rod so that my Tamiyo survives on the control deck in this matchup for sure. It's not like Tamiyo is super safe as in the sense that they have Pyroblasts, but they do have more cards that take care of Delver. Okay, it's down. If they have a Tamiyo, it's a problem for sure. Ponder. Okay. How do I want to play my turn? Think so many 1-drops. That's awesome. I think I think I'm still gonna hold on to Tamiyo and just play Nethergoyf. It will die to a it will die to a bolt. That's not something I like. I could get a Underground Sea to be more efficient and then get a swamp next turn. Hmm. I feel like I should definitely unload here. What if I just play Tamiyo Delver? I think that's fine. Kind of accept that they can shoot everything except for Nethergoyf. I don't think it's that interesting flipping Tamiyo. I'd rather attack or like accept that it's dead. And to bolt and then move on. Like this way, I'm kind of pressuring them on board instead of just playing Tamiyo Brainstorm, and then they have a Pyroblast on their turn. It feels okay. Another Pyroblast gone. Yep. Yep. Do I want to do something here? No. Let's just see what I find. Okay, another Tamiyo. Interesting. Now they used already 2 Pyroblast, so now I'm more inclined to get Tamiyo going, definitely. Okay. Don't want the land. And I guess don't need the Brainstorm. Now, I think they have a Daze. I think it's pretty likely. At this point, I'm mostly afraid of Murktide, I must say. How should I deal with that? Think I am just gonna Pyroblast here. I feel like next turn I want to ponder into a 2-drop that handles Murktide, so if they does mean I have to go for Underground Sea, but I think that's fine. Like I'm playing into Daze, but I feel like I'm gonna be forced to do that regardless. So they can of course attack Tamiyo. There are no perfect plans. Attack it and bold it. Well, there might be perfect plans, but I don't have them. Yep. It is going down. See if they play a land. If they don't, they bin a land. Maybe they're gonna waste me. Just Delver. Okay. So they're getting aggressive. That's awesome. That is very awesome. Let's get that into play. They have only 2 cards. And feel like this Ponder is still my most important card. So I'm okay getting this Dazed. Like the Murktide is what I'm afraid of. I think they would have Dazed there if they had one. Like I'm almost completely sure. So attack and then Murktide. Maybe they lose Delirium. No Murktide. Okay. They are forced to attack. It looked like they didn't want to. No, but that's awesome. Gonna get that done right away. Maybe a Petty Theft is coming up. And I'm looking for, guess, Daze now. Daze can answer Murktide. One of the Petty Thefts or... yeah, it's only actually Petty Theft that answer it because the Edict will just eat a Chandler. So Daze is pretty sweet if you can find that. And they can make an 8/8 Murktide. Okay, Petty Theft indeed on the Nethergoyf. Yeah, it's good for the tempo. They don't want a Delver. Okay, Daze, awesome. That's what I want. So they can't really cantrip. I'm not flipping the Delver, but it's really okay. I just want this Daze in my hand. I have them on a 2-turn clock regardless. And let's just swing. I think this is over basically when they don't make that land drop. Even a Murktide is too slow now. I think I can just go around it. Gonna play this. No, I'm gonna wait. No reason to play it now. Here, that's fine. Parablast on the Delver is fine. They need like an unholy heat, a land and a heat, then they kind of then at least it looks like they stabilize. But I think the Orc is gonna be too much. And do they have the heat? Okay, but I have the Daze. Yeah, they needed that land as well. So, okay, that's all she wrote. Awesome. So I can't complain. Let's see what the last match will give us. It should be something unfair. All right, third and last match against this trio of strong decks of the new metagame. I am fortunate to win the die roll, and I do have the kind of intel that I think the last deck is going to be something unfair. I'm going to keep. And I'm going to play Thoughtseize first because I have this intel. It's yeah, that's what happens, right? Sometimes you know what's up. Okay, sweet. This deck is sweet. 2 lands, Force, Ponder, Show and Tell, stack up. They're gonna Ponder or Thoughtseize me and stack up. Like stack up and Show and Tell. They're both must counters. I could. It's like my hand is pretty fine against the Thoughtseize. Doesn't make a big difference. I think they're gonna maybe take the Brainstorm. I feel like I should take the stock up. Is that crazy? Probably is crazy. Could also take the Ponder and hope that I find a Daze before they find a third land. That's tough. That's tough. I think I'm gonna. It's like between Ponder and stock up, I feel. I'm gonna take stock up. I'm gonna take stock up. Because yeah, it's tough. I really am. I'm not sure what's the correct. Like it's so close. It depends on many things. But if I take Ponder, they can just play lands, play stock up, and I think they're gonna Thoughtseize my Brainstorm. So I don't have a clear, like a good chance of finding a Daze, even. Yeah. I just have a few draws realistically, and like they're gonna jam it, stock up, I think. But maybe Ponder was the choice. Okay, that doesn't do anything. I'll play it just to cycle. Then it's a question how aggressive I want to be with my Brainstorm. I think I'm too far away from winning on beats. I should prioritize getting good cards. So I won't Brainstorm in the upkeep. Now they just need payoff and maybe a blue card to go with the force. And I really want to shuffle away this push. I think it does. Well, they might play Tamiyo, but beyond that, in this game, with these cards that I know they have, it does nothing. I might just cycle this right away on my turn. I don't shuffle, but I did think long and hard about it. It's not very interesting. I want to find a Thoughtseize. Do they force me here? No. That's not good. Getting rid of these. Guess I can find a Daze. Maybe a Daze is useful. Okay, I feel dead in the water. Dead in the water. Show and tell. Okay. Omniscience. Lorien. Okay. Probably good enough. Brainstorms and stack ups. I'm just gonna have 6. Another omniscience stack up. Yeah. It is their time to shine. Now, this is one of those decks that play Barrowgoyf in the sideboard. So I will be using my Drown in the Locks. It's also a matchup where I would have loved to have Pyroblasts, but you can't have it all. Alright, Tamiyo, Brainstorm. Still no game-winning effect. Yeah. And that's it. So shoot that one. Force of Will. I mean, what can they have besides counter spells and lands? Okay. Maybe I should have cycled this beforehand. Cards that don't do anything. I mean, it shouldn't be possible to win from this spot, right? But if all they have is Force of Wills and lands, maybe we can. I have Surveil land at the ready. And here comes something. Ah, okay. Checking the top card. Binning a land. Brainstorm. Yeah. Yeah, Bowmasters would have been good, right? That would have won the game. Okay. That's enough for me. Sweet. Sweet deck. This is, yeah, built in the same style as Blue-Black Reanimator, where you have this combo protected with Thoughtseize and Force of Wills, with Tamiyos at the side, and then sideboard Barrowgoyfs. I like this just a bit. Show and tell Emrakul, I can win against that, and then it's just for Tamiyos and Beargoyfs. Drown is for countering show and tells and shooting Beargoyfs. I should play Force of Negation and Thoughtseize. Spellbomb does nothing. Wasteland seems pretty bad. I think I could cut one. I mean, I have too many pushes, but I'm sure they're going to bring in 4 Beargoyfs, so I can also Daze those, of course. Nethergoyf, I mean, I do need a clock. I don't think I can cut them. Maybe one more Wasteland. Yeah. Or one more push. Yeah, one more push. It's tough. They have these Tamiyos as well. They have a bunch of creatures, I think, post-board. Brazen is kind of the worst removal spell. It takes Omniscience in some spots. It's good, but okay, let's do it like that. But yeah, this kind of build of their deck is exactly why I like playing Thoughtseizes and to some extent Round in the Lock, just to have that versatility. Okay, well, that's fine. So this is a hot counter when the time comes. But yeah, it looks pretty good, this hand on the play. Bowmasters seems awesome. Maybe they play Bowmasters as well in the board. It's not impossible. Cantrip or Thoughtseize. Yeah, Thoughtseize is so good. Is it Thoughtseize? Don't think I'm dazing at Thoughtseize. Okay. That is cool by me. So the fact that they must have few lands, looking for lands with this ponder. Otherwise, I mean, just getting island seems better. Maybe they have like this land and then an ancient tomb. And they need to be able to do everything off that land. Regardless, I am wasting. And now drown is a hard counter. For what it's worth. Okay. So now next turn I can just say go with 2 mana. And play Bowmasters end of turn if nothing else happens. This Nethergoyf is really embarrassing, right? The 1-2 coming in. So let's see if it's time to battle against like a show and tell, Daze proof of Ancient Tomb. Huh. That's tough. That is tough. Are they like baiting me to Daze here? I think I just accept this because yeah, I need to be able to react to So like Ancient Tomb. If I play Bowmaster, they take Daze and they just play Ancient Tomb. Okay, they take the counter spell. So they know they just need to beat Daze, and they can. They can. Stack up. Well, I should think I should eat this petal while I can. But it's tough. And I'm just gonna play my Bowmasters. It's like my hand is upside down. Face up is the word I was looking for. At least they can't find a force of will, if that is what they want against the Bowmasters. But yeah, I am cold to their combo. Can I? I'm gonna surveil. See if I can get a bigger Nethergoyf. I can. Yeah. So basically, they have to draw a lot of cards. Maybe I can get there with just having Bowmasters. Let's see. Just Thoughtseize on. Okay, push. That's fine. That is fine. That's awesome indeed. Sweet. I don't play a lot of Nethergoyf, so I had to check what that does. I don't think they play. Whoops. Like Spell Pierce or something. Double Thoughtseize. That is awesome. That is awesome. So getting rid of maybe nothing, but probably, maybe the thing is I feel like push might be good. Maybe I'm just getting rid of Force of Will. Is that crazy? I don't think so. And the land. They have a response. What can it be? I push. Okay. I'm sad. So here is the Bergoyf. And I have that covered with push. If I keep my fetch land. I think I'm gonna take this stock up, and next turn, Thoughtseize once again. Nice game. Nice game indeed. Maybe they can hide the good stuff with Brainstorm. So my Thoughtseize timing. Whoops. That's what we didn't want to happen. Okay, I was playing with fire there. I was definitely playing with fire. They go to 1. Bowmaster from the top? Or... what a joke. I had to write a smiley. That's so lucky. Sorry, Cyrus. So no surprises. I have 2 push, an edict, the drowns, and the brazen. That's fine. I think that's fine. Yeah. And the Dazes, of course. It's my lucky day. Maybe it was I don't know. It felt correct to pass there, but kind of makes them. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's correct because they have to brainstorm into like Thoughtseize and the land to be able to play the Bergorf that turn. So I feel like it has to be almost like on top, drawing it to make me look really silly. So in that sense, I don't feel silly. And they had pushes. Yeah, maybe they have more creatures than I am giving them credit for. Maybe they're taking out the Bergorfs because they saw I have push. It's not impossible. When they're on the play. That is a mulligan. And that's a keep. I think I'm getting rid of a ponder. Is that crazy? I feel like these Bowmasters might be good. I need for them to give me some time. Okay. So they can just clear the Daze and go ahead and play something awesome next turn. Yep. There's a world where I won't double back next turn. So I'm gonna get the C. Like double Thoughtseize. Daze. Okay, sweet. All of this is sweet. Yeah. So if they fetch, drown is a terminate on Bergorf. Definitely saving my days for better stuff, but with their Lotus Petals, it's yeah. You never know if it's going to be good enough. They like what they see. Here's the pedal. I'm scared. Stack up. And thing is that now I can play my drown next turn. I don't want to draw that Murktide, right? No, I don't think so. I want to draw interaction. And I'm pretty much dead in the water if they do something. Awesome. Let's find a Force of Will. Daze. No, not Daze. Thoughtseize. Force of Will. I'm not saying no to that. Even though it might not be relevant just yet. I can play that. This is end of turn Bowmasters almost for sure. Well, unless they brainstorm, but they're not gonna brainstorm, right? Okay, doing nothing. That I like. What do they have in hand? Well, they might have a brainstorm in response. So what do they have? They can have push, force, omniscience, Emrakul. And now they can have everything. If I find a blue card on the top of my deck, then I'm feeling pretty good, I'd say. If I don't, then I don't feel good. I think it's going to be showdown on their turn. Sweet. Let's rumble. Yeah, I think it's going to be showdown. And with 4 cards, 2 counter spells on my side should be good enough, right? If I have Bergoyf, I drown it. Okay. Just passing the turn. Maybe they just have some stinkers in hand. Okay. I'm not playing it because then I can't drown. But now I have 3 counter spells. Still a 2-turn. What I have is a 2-turn clock, so it's good enough. If they use Ancient Tomb, it's 1 turn. They don't want Omniscience. I guess they already have it. Island, 4 cards to beat me. Stack up. Well, I'm gonna counter that. And okay, that's it. So now, not bad. Let's attack first. So that puts them to effective 3 lands, 3 mana, wasting Underground Sea here. Meaning that my Daze looks like a hard counter. Almost a hard counter. Looks relevant. Show and tell. And a Daze. Well, do they beat a Daze? Don't think so. They have one card in hand. All right, awesome. Well, that was a sweep. Didn't expect that. Well, let's. I'm gonna talk with Cyrus right in 2 seconds. See you there for the closing thoughts.
All right, so let's get stuck into it and talk to my lovely opponent. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. And thanks, Cyrus, for the games. My name is Tue. I'm Danish. I live in France. I played Legacy. I've been playing Legacy since 2006, more or less, and I've been loving Daze and Wasteland since I don't know 2012 or 10 or something like that.
It's a good way to be. I used to be a rug delver player for a long time back in
Yeah.
the day.
It's it's I mean, I don't get tired. I think it creates games that are unique enough that I find myself always curious to learn more and play more games. Yeah, get better basically.
So tell us about the deck that you chose to play for this, that you were playing for all 3 rounds, and why you chose it and how you think it fits in the meta.
Yeah, it's well, I played Dimir tempo with a couple of Delvers, a couple of Tamiyos, and it's actually I've been playing Izzet or Grixis for a long time. Like the last couple of months, I started my YouTube channel a couple of months ago, and I played almost exclusively with Red. Even though I don't have like a hard rule, I just felt like that was better. But now I saw so many decks doing exactly what the third deck, the one you piloted with Show and Tell, that I saw so many decks in the current metagame doing that, exactly having Barragoyfs in the sideboard or something else scary. Something that like Oops All Spells, I see them playing Barragoyfs, the Cloudpost deck as well. There's a lot of dukes basically in the metagame. And that's tough, I think, when you're playing Izzet. So I wanted to play Thoughtseize, and I wanted to try Drown in the Loch because it's cool at being like a counterspell and terminate on Barragoyf.
It's so good. Like I was when it came up, I was like, "This is so good against me trying to do a Duke thing because you can kill my creatures or you can counter my spells, and it kind of does both of them for you."
Mm. Yeah, it's pretty like we're not used to playing with counterspells that cost 2 mana, but we are somewhat used to playing like removal spells that cost 2, like the Edicts and the Molten Collapses of the world. But I mean, it's not perfect, but I think it's worth trying. It's the first game. These games are the first games where I'm playing it since it maybe
Well,
came
they
out.
went pretty well, didn't they?
Yeah.
A bit of a clean sweep there. Should we talk about the sort of specific games and some of the interesting things that came up?
Yeah, for sure.
I think first things first, the Pox game, when I milled over that Nile Spellbomb off of Dredging My Life from the Loam, I think that turned the entire game.
Yeah.
My entire plan was just to like wipe your graveyard and be fine, and then it just went horribly wrong from there.
Yeah. I was pretty when I learned about the matchup and how like just the first couple of land drops, I was pretty sure I was going to lose because that's usually how it goes when I play tempo against a kind of loam strategy. And then like just having the basics that if it made maybe if I didn't have basics, you could have maybe found the time to waste lock me. Maybe not, but yeah, it seems like you just needed like spells that mattered. You needed like a smallpox, or you needed something. And loam was kind of useless when I had my basics. So these Nethergoyfs, they were better than I had thought.
I definitely got into some awkward spots against your Nethergoyfs in across some of the games. Like moving ahead slightly, when we were playing the Izzet Delver matchup, like the Nethergoyfs were really good because you had this Nile Spellbomb, which meant that I could never line and bolt your guys in a meaningful way Sorry, I could never unholy heat your guys in a meaningful way because you could always change their power and toughness,
Yeah.
and that was really frustrating. So the
Oh yeah.
Nethergoyfs definitely looked really solid in your list. They were pretty big quite often.
Yeah, it's I only play like 2 artifacts beyond the creatures, sorceries, instants, and lands. So it's not like I'm going hard on pumping them, but like when they're 4/5, that's pretty big, right? That's
Yeah,
that's awesome.
a bit too big.
Yeah.
I think in the second game of Pox versus your deck, we ended up in a situation where you sort of managed to get your engines online because you had like your Tamiyo ticking up, I think, and
Mm.
I just had my engines. You could perfectly like have the right disruption for them, and I couldn't ever get anything set up.
Yeah, with the surgical on the loam, and
Yeah, that was really brutal.
I had the force of negation to for your um, the hybrid, not the hybrid. What's the name with the bloom command? Yeah, the multicolored spell. Yeah, I had really kind of the perfect answers to just get over the hump. Um, that was I had like a Nihil Spellbomb on the top of my deck that I was considering, but I had the luxury to not like spend my time doing that, like clearing your loam with that because I had the surgical already. So that's I think those kinds of tight tight spots where you're coming out ahead, playing tempo against lands is necessary to win because otherwise it's a really bad matchup.
Yeah, I think the last turn where you had the counter spell for what I was trying to do because I had a way that I think would stabilize if I could just get through with you not having counterspell on that one last turn because I was going to be able to like kill your Tamiyo, kill your Brazen Borrower,
Yeah.
make a bunch of little tokens, and then also play a Hogak from hand. So just all of a sudden,
Okay.
just flip the
Yeah.
entire board.
Oh yeah. For sure.
But it sort of shows like the tempo of you managed to come in just underneath where you needed
Mm.
to stop me from doing anything, and that was a really good display of how tempo takes on matchups like this.
Yeah. But you had a lot of time to. I felt like just unloading your tokens from the hatchery would have been enough to buy you so much time if you find like a smallpox, ideally a smallpox at some point. Oh, but even a wasteland on your land might be enough to buy like 5 turns, and then I definitely felt behind for until like the last 2 turns of that game, I think.
I had an interesting sideboarding decision in that matchup.
Mm.
So in the sideboard for this particular list, it has a full play set of endurance as well as like Barragoyfs and then some removal spells that obviously came in because they're things that can deal with creatures or Tamiyo. But I only brought it in 2 endurance because I didn't really have the space to have any more. And it's kind of
Mm.
an interesting thing about how much I could have used some endurances in that matchup, and maybe I was wrong to only have 2 in. I could have gone a little bit deeper on that because of how they can interact in combat so favorably.
Yeah,
What's your
yeah.
thoughts on that?
It's definitely one of the public enemies, number one, endurance. Yeah, I think it depends on what you're like taking out because it like you have the late game kind of assured with your loam and your sagas and hatcheries. I feel like a late game I'm never winning, but resolving the endurance unless you pitch it, but resolving it is not that easy. So I don't know. Playing 4 might be wrong. Like it might be too heavy. Like you
That's kind
want
of
to
where I
be
landed.
yeah you want to be efficient and you can't like
The deck needs a
it's
lot of its
better.
pieces as
It would
well.
be different against Izzet where I don't have good removal for it. But since
Yeah,
I do have push, I know you're playing Bowmaster, so I'm not boarding out all of my pushes, so it's worse than against Izzet for sure. So yeah.
like the remaining cards I maybe could have tweaked for it is I probably could have cut a. So I kept the Lava Spare Boots in because I wanted something that would allow me to pressure Tamiyo
Mm,
like with haste. So if I fall behind, I at least have a chance of dropping a Hogak and then sticking some boots on it and just deleting a Tamiyo,
mm,
and that could be really useful. So I
yeah.
didn't feel like I could get rid of that. I couldn't get rid of Pithing Needle. I could maybe trim like one Boseiji, but going down to 24 lands against a Wasteland deck, even though we're playing Loam, is a little bit sketchy. with this particular build, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think 2 probably ends up being the right amount.
You didn't have
What
you had a turn where you had Saga and you got a Needle. That was maybe game 1, but you don't have a Soul Guard Lantern in the main. I was
no,
a bit
just
afraid
another
of that.
spell bomb, but we milled it over, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So, what about our second round? The sort of classic, your deck being slightly bigger than my deck in the tempo mirror.
Yeah, I feel like I'm quite favored in the matchup. I'm usually on the other side, and I'm groaning when I play against Dimir
Yep.
because there's so many interactions that are in my favor, like the Spell Bomb, Delirium interaction, Nethergoyf, Lightning Bolt, Barragoyf out of my sideboard. Bowmaster is a pain for you. Like, there's so many. That's also one of the reasons why I wanted to play Dimir, because I saw there was a lot of Izzet in the showcase, and all week basically last week. So yeah, it's really tough when you're Izzet. You need to go fast, not be playing because I'm the control deck in the matchup. So Delver needs to, like, Izzet Delver needs to get out the gates, and it's tough. Then that means you need to either have some kind of sideboard plan where you really change with a lot of unholy heats maybe, and something that allows you to go a bit longer so you can take out the Delvers and not be like groaning all the way to the to the sideboard when you get a Bowmaster on your 1/1 Delver, which happened.
Yep.
That hurts so much. But since you want to be the aggressor, it's kind of, do you keep in Delvers or not? It's tough. It's very tough.
So like the build I'm running is the one that won the showcase, and this got like the 8/1 drops plus the Tamiyo as well,
Mm,
and it's got like 1 unable to screen to try and handle some of the black creatures that are in the format.
mm,
But I think like this sort of setup is much better into all those sort of combo decks where you need to assemble pressure and then just protect it and just get over the finish line with disruption. But against someone like you with your sort of blue-black slightly bigger build, what we really would have wanted to be more in the Corey Steelcutter build, because that's a
mm.
sort of card that you can struggle to deal with without Hydroblast and then can take over the game. But we
Yeah.
just didn't have that lever to pull, so we were incredibly behind the entire time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, yeah, I understand why, like, this build, the build you're playing, that you played, is better against combo. Like, and I think it makes sense to play a build like that in this metagame that we had last week. But it might change. It might not stay combo centric. But Cutter is, yeah, awesome against control and in the mirror, like tempo mirror.
You
Yeah.
got anything else you'd like to say about the matchup we had there?
Mm,
I think it's
no, I think it's fine. I mean,
I
it's
think
pretty clear cut. Kind of, it showcased like the dynamics of the matchup, and
we
why
both
it's
knew how it was going to go as well.
mm, yeah,
I think the last matchup was probably the most interesting one.
mm, yeah, and it's a new deck, a kind of new deck that you played. Pretty cool, I think. Kind of one of the successes to Blue Black Reanimator, right?
It does feel like it's just trying to do similar things like, we got Tamiyo and blue black disruptor spells and we're playing a combo deck.
Mm,
And it's kind of pretty similar, although it's sometimes a little bit tricky to line up some of the pieces.
mm. Yeah, when you played,
Brainstorm is obviously great.
did it feel how did it feel compared to Reanimator? Like more clunky, I assume.
Definitely more clunky, but I think when you actually combo off with Omniscience, it does feel more powerful than what Reanimator was doing. But it's a lot more work to get to that point in the first place.
Mm,
So it's kind of a bit difficult because you're also dedicating quite a lot of slots, really, because you have Show and Tells, Emrakul, Atraxa, and Omniscience. And then you can kind of argue that Stock Up is part of that package. And
mm,
then you also have your mana base is a lot worse because you have to run the soul lands of like Ancient Tomb and sometimes City of Traitors. So there's more points of failure. So this is it's very powerful, but I think it has a lot of weaknesses that can be exploited, which is what you want, really.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's much worse against Daze, Pyroblast. It's also like susceptible to just aggressive draws from the opponent. But yeah, it looks really strong, that deck, and I think it's gonna stay. I feel like that's a deck that's gonna stay as a alternative to Sneak and Show. I can imagine. Like
I am a
what?
little. Sorry,
Yeah.
you go ahead.
No. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say I'm like the Cyborg Duke doesn't feel as good as I think it does in other lists. So like Barrowgrowth is obviously pretty good, but down to Voidwalker being black when we're quite often fetching
Oh yeah.
islands because we've got what 3 seas, 2 islands, 1 swamp, 1 Undercity Sewers.
Mm,
So that it's going to be awkward sometimes getting this Doubtful Voidwalker down.
yeah.
But I understand why you would have the Doubtful Voidwalker and how powerful it is. But then like Fatal Pushes, I feel we maybe want to mess around with the removal spells we have so we can maybe catch something a little bit bigger. So at least change one of those Fatal Pushes to like an Edict so that we at least have a slightly more diverse selection of what we can kill with our removal we're boarding in.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. It
So
sounds like a deck that's gonna like it's such a new meta, so it can change a lot. But the kind of core Thoughtseize, awesome 3 drops, and some kind of juke with Baragorth for sure. I think that's pretty. Yeah, it sounds good. It seems like a scary combo deck when you're playing a fair deck. Um, Imagine also kind of a deck like Loam Pox and other non-blue decks. It's kind of tough interacting with show and tell compared to the graveyard.
yeah, that's true. I think also the thing about the show and tell deck is it does need to find one of its 4 copies of show and tell at the end of the day.
Mm,
And you can't just sometimes just brainstorm and then have your surveil land, get your monster into the bin, or sometimes Thoughtseize yourself. There are a few more ways of enabling it, I think, in the Blue Black Reanimator shell to do this sort of thing. Whereas having to actually find your show and tell is kind of an interesting little wrinkle in that
oh yeah,
game
yeah,
plan.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. So, are you happy about the new metagame? Are you looking joyful with joy upon the legacy landscape?
I certainly think it's better than it was, but there is some worrying trends. It's still early days, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Sweet. Yeah. Me too. Me too. I am also looking forward to how it develops. It's gonna go fast. I think approaching Eternal Weekend Europe. So
it is a little concerning that 60% of the challenges this week were won by Oops All Spells.
oh
It's
yeah,
not
for sure.
ideal,
I think that's
but
what was between the lines of both of our sentences for sure. Yeah, yeah,
I think though when a new meta starts and people are like, "Oh, we don't need Graveyard Hate anymore," the neutral spell is like, "Actually, you do," and then it's going to prey upon people a little bit while people are trying to find their feet because it's just so efficient at what it does.
yeah. But it should go back to like reasonable numbers. I don't think it can just keep on winning if people have some graveyard hate. But yeah, poor old Dredge deck. Like it should have been the time to shine for Dredge, but Oops is taking the podium.
I think another really interesting thing is that this week is actually one of the best weeks that like the Turbo Reanimator builds have had for about 2 years
Okay.
because
Wow.
they put 3 copies into top 8,
Mm.
and so they had a top 8 share of 7.5% despite only being 1.5% of the meta. So they're actually, technically speaking, the best performing deck on the day,
Okay.
or sorry, on the week.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that's a problem. I think it's fine, and it's just a nice little spike in people not having the right hate and things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's good to see the deck exists.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mm. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't know that, but that's a good sign for sure that they can still play.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we wrap this one up?
No, it's just I don't know if you mentioned it before, but you can see the other half, like my half of these games on my channel, on True Tempo MTG on YouTube. So you can see if my plays were correct, if you would have played differently, and so on. That's
You would have beaten me even harder, maybe.
I don't think so, but maybe. There's always things to learn.
It was interesting, and I was sort of getting to grips with some of these. Cause I've not played this build of the show and tell, so I wasn't sure how much we should be juking and juking back. So it'd be interesting to see what you think of that one as well when you see it from the other side.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, but it was a pleasure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing stuff like this, even when I get absolutely handed. Like it was good to see sort of the slight evolution. Seeing some Delvers in a blue-black deck again gave me a bit of joy, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I do love Delver.
It's a beautiful little card.
All right, I think that's us done. So thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and check out both of our channels. And goodbye.